iOS 18 is only 2 months away, and it's going to change the way we communicate in two very big ways. So to start off, we have satellite connectivity and also RCS support. So we're going to talk about satellite connectivity. So satellite connectivity and satellite messaging has been on the iPhone since the iPhone 14 series, so it's been around for a little bit of 2 years now. But we're finally getting satellite messaging, so essentially if you go off the grid and you don't have cell signal or Wi-Fi, you'll be able to text your friends, but you do have to initiate it first if you are the person off the grid. So essentially just like you would if you were texting emergency services or calling emergency services using satellite, you'll get that prompt to say, hey, connect your iPhone to a satellite to send this message, and it will take a little longer than normal just because of the fact that it is compressing this message as small as possible to send it to the satellite and then send it to the person. And personally, I just think this is going to be such a cool feature to have because you don't know when you may or may not need a feature like this, and having the ability to essentially always be able to send a message is definitely going to be very nice. I've even heard people have been using this on planes just to kind of get around having to pay for airplane Wi-Fi, which is something I think is just showing how futuristic and how this is going to be the future of communicating. I kind of think, maybe we won't have cell providers. Maybe everything will be done through a satellite, which would be very cool because if it's going to be done through a satellite versus a cell provider, it might save us some money. And then also you wouldn't be tied into your phone through your carrier. You would probably be a whole nother way about it. But that's just pure speculation as we have absolutely no idea how Apple may scale this and how even other companies are scaling this, because there are companies like Starlink to give you internet using satellite. So I do believe this is something that is going to truly be the future. And everything will work when you send a message through satellite, so you can text people who don't have iPhones, tapbacks, audio messages. The only thing I believe that doesn't work is photos, just because of how big a photo is, and then compressing that, it would just not be a good experience overall because it would take so long and you would have to keep your iPhone pointed at a moving object. So when you connect to a satellite, you essentially have your iPhone like this with the satellite essentially above it here. And now because the satellite is passing over you, the satellite does have kind of a range. But once that satellite goes out of range, you would then have to find the next one and just keep essentially getting stuck in this loop. That just wouldn't be the best experience, which is why they won't have it for photos just yet. But as I said, we'll have to see where this goes in the future, because I think this is here to stay around. And we're also getting RCS support on iPhones, which is just going to make texting someone who doesn't have an iPhone so much better. You're going to get read receipts, text indicators, group messages, better experience, the ability to better send photos, the ability to do tapbacks, and everything that you kind of love with an iMessage user that essentially is broken when you go to text an Android user. So it's essentially just MMS, but better and essentially newer, and Android phones have been doing it between each other for years, just like how iPhones have been iMessaging. And now RCS will also bring the ability to edit and possibly unsend a message to non-iPhone users. We aren't sure about unsending, but editing most definitely, which is just kind of a very nice experience to have, knowing the fact that the experience isn't downgraded just because someone has an Android and not an iPhone. And as of right now, the only features that do work through RCS while we're on the iOS 18 beta is read receipts, typing indicators, better photos and videos, voice memos, and the tapbacks and reactions. So we don't have everything, like I said before, with the editing and deleting, but those may come later on, and we're going to have to see how Apple's going to handle this, because I think it's about time we finally got RCS support. I was one of those people who, whenever texting someone who had an iPhone, I never cared that the bubbles were green or blue. It was just one of those things. It was just like the experience was so much worse. But now you're essentially getting the same level of experience, and your iPhone will even tell you that it is an RCS message just by saying text message with a bullet and then RCS. So you'll know if you're texting someone with RCS instead of MMS, which is just so nice. But overall, I think these two changes to iOS are just going to make iOS 18 and communicating with people so much better, because you'll never really truly have to worry about being off the grid if you need to let someone know, hey, I'm okay, this is what's going on. Or if you want to text someone who doesn't have an iPhone, you'll just get a much better experience overall. But let me know what your thoughts are with a comment down below, because this is definitely shaping up to be a very interesting upgrade with iOS 18 later this fall. And I want you to remember, today's a good day to me, great day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.